Yo, what up? What up? What up?
I am here. Yeah.
we back at it again. Oh man, and we back at it.
We're going to be talking about chakras and light healing, energy healing, crystal healing.
Yeah,
We got it all for you today.
yeah.
Yeah.
This book right here actually is a book I've had for a while. I go to it every now and then. I actually wrote some notes in the book that I was looking over while we was just talking offline. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be talking about today. The chakra healing. You did some research behind the person, so tell them what you found.
Well, let me tell you, the author is no other than she's a Reiki master, best-selling guide. Let me bring that over here. You see, best-selling guide, core energies. Oh, everything just moved on me. Sorry about that, everybody. And and Anodia Judith PhD, I think it is. No, it's Margarita Alcantara is the name of the author. Now, what I found interesting about her is that she's legit. Like she's legit. Almost 4 years. I mean, she already has her bachelor's and she has her master's, and practically a doctorate degree in the field. And basically, she is completely she is licensed therapist, but not in. I mean, maybe like a holistic license, but she actually has a real doctor license in the field. In But it's not. It's how do I explain? When it comes to chakra healing, everything is not the same as what she has the feel. And this is very important to know. You got to know exactly what this will lead into.
Mhm.
The author is actually an acupuncturist, and this is going to be important later on. So pay attention because we're going to be going over some details and why the mythology of chakra healing is actually the same thing as what acupuncture and the medical sciences and everything and your nerve systems in connection to it. So let's get into it.
Yeah, it's like I just well, let me ask you this because before we even start, because of course one of the first times I got in here is what chakra chakras is. What is your basic understanding of what chakras is?
Oh my goodness, there's so many different terminologies on chakras, but I will give you my personal feeling. I First of all, I want to share with you guys that to me, chakras is nothing but a bunch of hoopla to me. Like it's to me, it was just something that people are out to make money off of, and I feel that other people feel the same way around me. That it's just another gimmick out there. But after reading so much about it and finding details about it, there are similarities between chakra healing and actual. There's some actual medical science behind it. Now, there's some people that will disagree with me. Like, nah, there is no such thing as medical. Now, but there is. There is a combination if you try and put them side to side. So chakra healing is been known for, and you can misquote me, thousands of years. Royal families around the world have felt like they had to employ their wizards and all these other people that are into holistic healing. Back then it wasn't holistic healing, that was just straight up healing. And basically all these alchemists, this is what we call them today, alchemists, not wizards.
Mhm.
But these alchemists that the royal families would hire would come in and they would do chakra healing with the royal families around the world. And this is their biggest secret, is that they employ these people. And then you would hear stories like, remember President Ronald Reagan? He would hire, or the wife, not him, his wife would hire somebody that was a holistic healer or a psychic, and we call it a psychic. And that person is like overall had everything involved, like holistic healing, psychic, seeing the future, all that stuff, and also astrology, knowing where the stars are and all that stuff. And so world leaders around the world really put a lot of faith into this. And why? And that's what we're getting into right now. What do you think chakra healing is about?
I gotta say, man, it's there's for me, it's not one definition. Because I've
Bet.
read so many different ideas what healing can be. For some people, healing can be subjective. Energy can be subjective. That's why there's a terminology for good and evil, because good energy, bad energy, positive, negative. So for me,
Like a
there's not.
yin and yang, right?
Yeah, there's exactly. So there's not a one definition for me. But when we're talking about it, and because it's about this book in particular, it says right here, chakras are energy vortexes that exist within each of us. These energy vortexes transport energy from the universe around you into your aura and body, as well as between the physical body and the layers of your aura. You can think of your chakra system as similar to a spiritual bloodstream. Blood carries oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body and helps regulate and balance the body and protects the body by removing waste products and clotting when the body is harmed. Much in the same way, your bloodstream connects and supports your many other physical bodily systems. Your chakra system connects and supports your physical self and your energy self. So, what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it means that we're going to have a good podcast. The truth is in the fact that there's a mixture, and you said it right the first time, that there is a it's not just one thing. There's multiple things. And if you look at the book, there's some symbology on that book. What does each symbology mean? It's multiple things, right? Correct? And what we're talking about, it's eating healthy. Look at that. There's a fork and a knife up there. Is taking the right vitamins and mineral all the way to the right on the top. It's also you thinking. Your mental awareness is on the top left. That's the first thing you see. Mental awareness and believing in yourself, having confidence is also healing your body as well. That right there makes your body heal even faster. And then you got the bottom is peace of mind. That's another symbol. And then down there is working out, which I don't do that much, which I need to do. That's yoga. Yoga is part of it. Look, there's meditation, yoga. It even says it on there. I didn't even bother reading. And I'm saying it out loud. Food, diet, essential oils, behavioral changes. And then Chris, I didn't even know the words were on the book, man. And I'm actually saying it out loud. And then we
Yeah,
have crystals as well. And that's called crystal healing. And I've been around people throughout my life as a kid, around people that believed in crystal healing. In fact, I got a couple crystals upstairs in my, but I couldn't bring them down because they're connected to, um, um, uh, what do you call it? Dream, um,
a dream catcher.
yeah, Dreamcatcher. Yeah, it's connected to the Dreamcatcher. I would have to take apart my whole Dreamcatcher just to bring the crystal down. And we all have some kind of belief. But for me, because I have nightmares and I have problems because I have PTSD and I'm a veteran from those things. I had to deal with. I had to find other ways besides my doctors at the VA. I had to find something else to help me with my mental aspect. So I've got a dream catcher, and it was from out in Arizona from one of the indigenous tribes. I didn't buy it off of China. Maybe they got it from China. I'm not sure. They said they weaved it. They weaved it themselves. So I believed them. So I bought it. But it wasn't that expensive. But then again, maybe it is from China. Who knows? The thing is the belief. The belief is the most important. That's the first picture you see on the upper left hand corner of that book. Is your mental belief, and if you do believe, then you're on your way for healing. It doesn't matter if it's fake or not fake or whatever, as long as you believe it's real, you're going to start healing because your brain is the most powerful. And I'm starting it off, and we should probably say this in the middle, but your brain, and I want you guys to think about this, all you viewers out there, that your brain is the number one healing factor, not medicine, not exercise, not all that. All that stuff come into play, but your brain is the first thing. And once your mind is set on healing, the rest will come. You'll do all the other things, exercise, eating healthy. Don't go out and start eating fast food thinking that you're gonna overcome it. Don't start drinking soda and says, yeah, I could handle it. No, stop all that stuff. Your brain, you have to control your brain and then get healthy. And chakra healing all comes down to that. And that's the funny part. There's just not one color on there's a chart too where it shows different colors in different parts of your body, and these are part of your nervous system. And then we were just saying that the book is based on different parts of who you are as a whole. Just you yourself is not just alone, but everything all together as a whole will make you the powerful you that you are today.
Yeah, it is all about self control. That's basically what they call it. With chakra healing, one of the things that I've learned about it was I came across this because of the simple fact that I get a lot of headaches, and
Hmm.
uh, I have PTSD also and stuff like that. So I was trying to find something to help me out, and I learned about yoga and all this other stuff,
Same.
chakras, meditation, and controlling your breathing and all that. But I had to go to the basics first, figure out what the basics are. So, from your understanding, how many chakras do you know of?
Um, that's a good question. In the Jewish tradition, they have something called the Kabbalah. You ever heard of it?
Mhm.
They have the different points, the Kabbalah. You ever seen it?
Yeah.
Let's see if we could bring it up for our viewers.
Well, while you're doing that, yeah, I was going to say that's glad I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of different ideas of how many chakras there are, but there are seven main ones that most people are familiar with, and each one of them have their own different things. I've read anything from 7 to 13 to I've read close to like hundreds, and but I've heard that the first seven is the ones that you have to conquer first. Or learn how to maintain or what how some people would even say balance instead of
I'm
maintaining.
sharing it.
All right, hold on, let's see.
I know this is not about the Jewish tradition or anything like that, but I always, this is how I grew up. I grew up learning about this first before chakras even existed in my life. And my family taught me about the Kabbalah. I'm sorry.
I know
Eh,
I know what you meant.
yeah, it is an ancient Jewish mystical tradition that has captured imagine they said mystical. Mystical is a key word. You hear what I'm saying, right? Tradition that has captured the imaginations of people from widely diverse backgrounds, including Jung himself. And people know what philosophy is. Well, Jung is one of those big philosophers that people read. I read Jung in the library when I was in high school, and that's a hard read. I'll tell you right now. 3 weeks after his heart attack in 1944, Jung had an uh, ecastic vision. Did I say that? It's ecastic. Everything around me also seemed enchanted. I myself was in paradise and in the pomegranate garden where Tiferet and Mashua married. I also imagined myself as Rabbi Shimon ben Shuai. So there are people that have had experiences blowing away everything in their life, and they have seen their other reincarnations when they pass away and come back to this world, which is wild. So the belief of chakras is like has been coming throughout the ages because of these beliefs, these experiences people have gone through they have to find an answer, and science doesn't have an answer, because I've been like, science cannot prove that this really exists, and there's no substance to this. AI even says
They're not
it,
able to put
but
it in a computer yet. That's basically what science is. It's got to have
yeah.
something to be put into a computer that the computer says, "Yep, I'll verify that, and that's right." That's why a lot of people are going to ChatGPT and Grok today.
But AI also, if you talk to AI the right way, it's always asking the right question. You always say, okay, now take these mythological experiences, and these are people, real people that have had experiences and truly believe they had reincarnation. Now, do you believe that the Kabbalah and these mystic arts and the chakras do exist? And then AI will start going off. Oh yeah, yeah. That these people really believe there is a long history and there's a foundation. And then, oh my gosh, the AI goes on to this long list of explanations, and then it becomes real. you know, but it's not real in the science area. But once you talk to the AI and figure out what words you have to say to it, so it can connect to the different philosophies and the different areas of the internet, then the AI starts jumping onto your side and start explaining how these beliefs really are real, real to people, and why people spend thousands of dollars in training and going to these classes, and they're in communities, and they love it. They love it. They love the connection. They love being around like-minded people. This is all like-minded people, and they just love it. They think it's worth spending the money. It is a billion-dollar industry. That's the thing of it. What do you think?
Well, I think anything can be a $1 billion industry. So you know, I go with you on that. I mean, there's 7.7 billion people out there. And people are not buying just one product. You got people buying multiple products that make up the ones that are only buying one. But so I know
I
of
had I
only
had an argument with AI about that, by the way,
about what?
today, about everything is for sale, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, everything. Of course it is.
but here's the thing: I think God missed the memo when we were born as a fetus to add money into our bank accounts before we were born, because not knowing that we need money to survive, and that was my argument with AI, and this being a capitalistic society. I mean, there are certain things that should not cost money; it should be free. That's what I
Well,
think.
well, think about it. This is healing. This is considered healing. So some people will consider this to be free, but people have to also survive, right?
Not when you
So,
enter that door. It's
well,
free after you pay.
it is because you got the stones. You got somebody that mines the
That's
stones.
true. That's true.
The people that get the
Hmm.
sage,
Hmm.
they got to pick the sage, wrap the sage, package the
True.
sage, mail the sage,
They
right?
might do it for free. They
Then
might do it for
you
free.
got people. You talked about acupuncture, right? So who's going to do
Mhm.
acupuncture for free? I mean, you gotta in most cases have a
Nobody's gonna.
business.
Who's gonna touch another
What?
human, right?
Well,
For free.
no, think about it. Just think about
Eh,
it for a second. You open yourself up with lawsuits if something goes bad.
Yeah.
So you having a business covers you insurance wise. So
A-
that
And and I checked up the author. You just brought that up about lawsuits, and I did check up about the author. Did she have any lawsuits? And did
oh, I
she
don't
go in trouble? Did she go to jail? And people do go to jail for this, by the way. um, Making assumptions that they can heal cancer and all that stuff. And some people have said that, and they end up getting sued or go to jail or go to prison for scamming people. And they only mean well, really, tell you the truth. They want to help people, but what is the difference between this author and those people going? She should be in jail, but she's not. She says the same thing as the other people, but she doesn't say it the way they say it. But because she's a professional, because she has all those years and a degree, because she is certified and she has an actual medical degree, you know, she knows her way around. She has lawyers. She has the ability to travel amongst that. And then AI looked up all the people that went as fraudsters that are in jail. They did not have a degree. They didn't know they work their way through the law system, and they made comments that they shouldn't have made. And that was the difference. In it was more of a 90% fact that that's why they're in jail and she is not. So I would stick with her because she has more knowledge on that field, and she won't lead you astray in thinking this is going to heal your cancer. No, this is going to help you to have a better life. That's pretty much what it is.
You know, I have to say, I I think it's all on depending on the person. You like you said, it goes back to faith. So with these seven chakras that most people are familiar with is the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the sacral
Yes.
plexus chakra, and the root chakra. Most
Which
people know those.
which one is yellow? Which one is yellow? Does it show the color?
Usually that one would be to me would be probably the solar plexus, but I'm also half colorblind.
I'm wearing yellow right now. I'm wearing blue and yellow. I wonder
But
what that is.
you know, but this is not the only. I hate to say it like this because chakras have to have a lot to do with a lot of different things.
Mhm.
That's why I said there's really no one definition for it. I think the word chakra and actually, I think it actually has a meaning in the beginning. Yeah, it says right here the word chakra is derived from the Sanskrit word kakra, meaning wheel. It was first mentioned in the Vedas, ancient Hindu texts that date to around 1500 BC. Throughout history, many cultures, including Egyptians, Hindus, Chinese, Zoroastrians, Zoroastrians, Greeks, Native Americans, Incas, and the Maya, among others, have all known these energy centers or the chakra center.
So people all over the world that had no connection to each other
They had
all
it
thought
was
the same.
they had an idea of that. Okay, you had a root chakra, you had a crown chakra, solar plexus, and stuff like that.
No greater proof than that itself, because the connection between it wasn't the Catholics. The Catholics didn't bring it, right? They didn't teach chakras, right? The Catholics didn't have that in their textbooks or
Well,
in.
they probably thought of that as more pagan or
Yeah.
witch like. Um,
Yes. They did. And guess what? This is proof that the belief of something is more core than it is than just passed along from ocean to ocean.
yeah,
So somebody, like I was reviewing about the phone, like Southern Bell or Alexander Bell. He invented the phone over here. Well, there was somebody in Europe that invented the phone too. I'm sorry, this is a little off topic, but what are the chances that they talk to each other and they stole from each other, right? No, they're because of technology, because it was going to be just simply, I mean, it's just simple mathematics pretty much, that somebody was going to invent the telephone pretty much. Someone somewhere, if it wasn't these two, it would have been somebody else because
yeah.
our
Somebody
technology
would
was
always
advancing at
would
the
have
time.
came in. Yeah, somebody it built something like it. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're humans. We're not dumb. We're not chickens
Well,
or something like
usually when
that.
you look at inventions that I've actually looked at inventions because I actually have a couple of books on inventions and stuff. But if you look at inventions, there's always two or three other people that was fighting the same fight. They just didn't have the.
I
Um,
bet you had ideas that somebody else pretty much took it and ran with it, and
oh, trust me,
you could have done it.
I have had at least three of them.
Yeah,
That's
I've
why I'm
I
so
had
fascinated with.
many,
Yeah,
15 over 15 ideas. I even had one with a
but
bicycle where
I
you
always
lean
say
down
it's
on your
not.
stomach. That came out over from someone from Boston University when they did the race with the solar panels.
I always say it's not about who has the I guess you could say the invention in their mind first. It's about who has the money to fund it to get noticed first. It's just like podcasting. You'll see people out there who have plenty of podcast uh, followers, or even followers just in social media. But if you're doing it, but it took them to put some money into that advertisement. That's saying it takes money to make money. Most inventions, for you just to be recognized, it takes somebody, you promoting it, you being in your backyard doing it. Nobody's really going to know that you're doing it, right? But if you're in your backyard doing it and you go to the newspaper and they put it out there on the news, now it's on the news, right? But you have to go out there and self promote your way. Some people have the funds to do it, monetarily, and some people have to go out there and do it the hard way, right? And then there's other people who scam others out of stuff to fund their whatever their invention
That's the
possibly could be.
thing about chakra healing and light work. Because now today it's called light work.
Hmm.
Back then it was chakra healing during our time, but now today the proper terminology is light work. Light, they talk about light beings. There's the talk between people that do light work. They talk about extraterrestrials that are light beings that communicate to them from other dimensions, from other
Yeah.
parts of the
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
which is part of the whole mythology of everything. And that's not really anything new, really. That has been talked about through different civilizations as well. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Light beings are also known as angels in
Well,
Christian
what else?
religions.
What, when you look at chakras, what does it usually depict on the person when you first see it? I don't know if it'll make sense to you unless you
Yeah,
get
the
to see
glow
it.
the glow around the aura.
So, like an orb, right?
Yeah.
So, what are they? What do they call them now? UAPs, unidentified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That could
It
be
was an
similar.
area, yeah, aerial phenomenon. So it's just like, and a lot of people are talking about orbs now. Like when I mean,
That's
we're
wild. How did we
we're
get to orbs? We In our time, we didn't have all these orbs. We had like
well, so that's what I'm saying.
saucers. We
Yeah,
had
that's what I'm saying.
shapes.
But that's what I'm saying is just the connection. You said light beings, and then chakras is about looking within itself, and sometimes you can get messages from the other world. That's why meditation is important.
Yes.
Activating different chakras can help with different things. Here's something that's interesting is that the Kundalini energy is the primal enlightening force that awakens all of your chakras often around the same time. We all have this energy, but it's usually dormant, just lying, just sitting there, right?
Yeah.
Lying quietly and coiled like a snake at the base of the
Wow.
spine or root chakra. So the Kundalini is basically firing the spark up to start the chakras. Or did I or what did you get from it? Or did you get the same thing basically?
Basically, I got the same thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Chakra healing is a culmination of many things. Like you said
Yeah.
in the straight from the beginning, it's not just one thing. If you attack this to just one thing, you have done this all wrong altogether. You need to do the best you can into dissecting each one. And this book goes along to each part as well. It goes from one where your mental, the food, the diet, the
Mhm.
essential oils. It goes one by one in detail what you should do, not what you need to do, but what you should do. It actually suggests it to you. Am I correct? It doesn't
Yeah.
tell you you need to do this now or else, you know?
No, it's just different things because
Yeah.
it gives the basic. Like I give you a good example. Most people know when meditation is supposed to be done. You're supposed to be sitting down a certain way, right? Most people think that you're supposed to be. You see it in TV and television shows. They're
Gotta
sitting
cross your
down,
legs.
yeah, all that other stuff. But in reality, meditation can be done doing anything. You don't have to be sitting still. Meditation, first of all, is about controlling your breathing. That's the first step. The second step is that which happens naturally because of your controlling of your breathing, for or at least for my experience, it clears your mind. Now you don't have 1,000 things running through your mind. You can have one thing going through your mind, right? You're focused on that, and all that energy that you would spend on thinking about 1,000 things running through your mind at one time, you're able to focus on one thing. And that's why a lot of times, a lot of people who, when we was talking about inventions, a lot of people who was um always inventing stuff, like some famous inventors like Edison and so on and so forth, sometimes they would get their inventions while they were doing a quick power nap, going to sleep, um, or dozing off. But they were so focused on their task that that was the only thing that they would think about when they go to sleep, and then it will continue in their, their REM sleeps. You ever heard that saying, or people tell you, if you ever wanted to study for a test, listen to some headphones while you're going to sleep, while you're sleeping, it still plays in your head, and is, consciously just getting it, or unconsciously, or I mean,
Yeah,
however,
you're connecting to your subconscious mind.
subconscious. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
and
Yeah,
this is real, people. Subconscious
yeah.
mind is
It's the same
spoken
thing as
to.
eating. They say like how chewing bubble gum while you study helps you too.
Yeah, Freud talks about the subconscious mind, the ego, and the superego, and everything like it is to communicate within your mind, because you're not just one person. Even though we want to think we're just one individual, but we are one individual physically. But in our minds, we have two hemispheres. Those two hemispheres are split into half, and they communicate. Left brain is over here for me. Right brain is over here. So if you're looking at this picture, and they crisscross. So in your body, in your nervous system, and this is the physical part, is your right brain is connected to the left side of your body, and your left brain is connected to the right side, and they crisscross throughout your muscles and bones, and also your nervous system reacts to all of this. It's a very complicated system. And when it comes to chakra healing, there is a scientific proof behind it, where they deal with releasing certain points, pressure points in your body, which at the end of the whole session, you feel 100 times relief. It's not like it's a fake belief. True, you go in with the mentality, and that proof of belief is is activated, and you leave because you believe in it, right? But that's not just only it. There's actual proof. There's actually scientific proof that it shows um what they did. They connected the body up with a bunch of sensors at the university. I don't know which study this is, and I wish I had it up right away. But they looked at how the pressure points work on the body, and it's proven that there is an activation. There is a way to release certain pressure areas. And when that proof came out, guess who started doing pressure points? What she works in. She works in that
Yeah,
field. And they have something where it's called sticking. They don't call it pressure points like in China. They have where they're acupuncture. In China, they have something called acupuncture, and that's more in depth. In fact, they have more experience, more detailed experience, and they actually have a university. They have school, and one of my doctors went to China and studied for 4 years acupuncture, and came back and added that to the resume. And I go to him only because he studied the Asian art, and I come out of there like roses. I come, dude. It works for me. Sometimes it doesn't work for other people. But if you go to what do you call, not a massage therapist? What do you call the people that
chiropractor.
chiropractor, or what is it, a sports chiropractor? Those sports chiropractors, the ones that you go to, they have something called sticking. They say they relieve pressure, but they go for the main area. They don't go and put little needles. They have like a big ass needle, and they aim for your back, and then they really fuck you up. Excuse my language. I'm sorry for cursing. That's only one curse word, but they do. They messed me up so bad that I left and never came back. I passed out. I passed out for them sticking me. and it messed me up. I went to my doctor, this chiropractor that studied the Asian art of acupuncture, and he fixed me all up. He says, "Man, they really messed you up." And then he put it all over my body, and I waited like for a good 20 minutes. He got me out of there, and my whole body was like, "Woo!" That was it. I felt relieved. Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. I came out of there like I came in there with a cane. I was hunchback. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm never going to be walking again. Oh, do you have a wheelchair here? Because I can't move. I was like that, people. Seriously, this is not fake. This is real. I was messed up. And then I left out of there, my cane in hand, walking out like I can't believe this person. Maybe it's all in my mind, right? Is it all in my mind, Rebirth?
Some people say it would be,
but
they actually.
I went back again and again, and every time I was in pain, the pressure was relieved. So I am physical proof that it's real. I don't know how it works. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go for the 4-year degree, but it works. So who's to say that the chakras and light healing doesn't work? They probably do the same thing without the acupuncture, but you do it inside yourself, the self-healing. You work yourself with
it's
eating
only
healthy,
because
yoga.
Like I said, it's only because of the fact that they can't run it through a computer to have it analyzed. You know, we I mean, when I look at science, that's what I look at when most people say that something like you can't test, like you can't test somebody's aura, right? Or you can. They have they say that everybody has some kind of magnetic field around their body of some sort.
Oh yeah.
You can call it whatever you want to instead of calling it a
There's magnetic
field
fields around ancient temples.
Well, I'm just saying.
Why are we so different?
People can say whatever they want, so it's crazy. But like right here, because we was talking about meditation, and you
Stonehenge.
was talking
Stonehenge, same
about
thing.
something that was very important. Use meditation is a form of mental exercise that trains the mind to stay focused on a particular object, goal, or sensation, such as your breath. So when you was talking about earlier when we first started about how you got to be able to control your mind, that's what meditation basically is. And then when I was talking about that, for me, the basic thing is controlling your breathing, because after you control your breathing, everything else becomes easy. I learned, I think it was from, I can't remember where I learned it from now, but I did read it in a book where somebody said something where they'll breathe in for 6 seconds, like take a deep breath or just take a breath in for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And then slowly exhale after that. And then do that until it's almost natural. Something I just found out because we was just both talking about how we're veterans. I was wounded in Afghanistan, and of course I go to the hospital when certain things start bothering me, and I went. I had a chest X-ray, and they were able to look and see in my chest X-ray that I take very shallow breaths. So I don't know how they're able to determine that, but
well, I mean, it has to be a machine that doesn't take a picture, but it takes a video of everything happening
no,
at
it's
that
just like
time.
it's like an MRI or a CAT scan, one of them two. But what I'm saying is that they were able to see that, and that's in the report. So for me to know that, um, and understand that back then for just meditating, you have to be able to control your breath. You know, so breathing in,
Yeah, I
I think
gotta I gotta remember how to breathe.
well, it's important. I learned that when you do that, I do start feeling different. Like if I start breathing
Dizzy.
in, not dizzy, just I feel different. I feel more relaxed. My body
Oh,
does feel
oh
more
no, no,
relaxed.
no. I'm saying if you stop breathing, you feel dizzy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you lose control. If you stop breathing, you start losing control. You get irate, you get angry, you get upset at everybody around you. If you notice that you're getting like that, take a deep breath, let it out. Take a deep breath, let it out. And this will help you. This is training from the VA hospital, by the way, and helping me with my PTSD is because I would find myself not breathing, and it happens naturally to all the best of us guys. We forget. Our brain just somehow just shuts off a certain part of your body, and then just you stop breathing for some stupid reason, you know? And that's what happens. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, no, you good. I actually just switched to the next page, and it actually talks about acupuncture.
Yeah.
And it basically in here so many words because it's a big paragraph. It just basically says that some people believe that acupuncture could be a way to balancing out chakras. So when you were talking about earlier how there's so many different things within chakra, that's facts. It's not one thing. It's a whole bunch of different things that make up the term for all of that stuff. So
Hmm.
it couldn't be chakras without acupuncture. It couldn't be chakras without meditation. It couldn't be
But the
chakras.
author is an acupuncturist and a chiropractor.
Yeah,
So what does a chiropractor first thing that a chiropractor does? Have you been to a chiropractor, correct?
yeah. I've been.
When you walk in the first day that you ever did chiropractor, what was the first thing they did? They measured the flat of your feet on both
Yep,
sides, correct? They
yep.
look from behind you. They're not checking out your ass, all right? They're looking at the bottom of your feet. And then they're looking at your knees and where your knees are standing at. Because if your knees are off, that means your whole back is off. And then they look at your shoulders. And then if your shoulder is doing this, then they're like, okay, you got some problems, right? So that's exaggerating, but maybe it's a little bit. And then you're saying, yeah, I got a pain in my neck. No shit, Sherlock, you're off. You're off balanced. And then to mix in chiropractor to to acupuncture, it's such a it's a match made in heaven. And this author has that knowledge, and it connects so well within that field that she has become so successful, not because she makes money. I mean, everybody makes money, like you said in the beginning of this podcast. The thing is that what makes her so successful, and people go out of their way to go to Sedona, Arizona, and that's where she's at right now. She used to be in New York, by the way. That's where her practice was, but she moved to Sedona, Arizona, and she has clients back to back in Sedona. And she's just as very successful at what she does.
Yeah, like I said, man, like you know, there's this. First of all, this has been talked about for thousands of years. Controlling, balancing certain chakras will keep you healthy. Here's a good example: depression, which is a
Oh,
big thing right now in a lot of people's lives.
a
It
lot of people like,
basically
yeah.
basically it's the crown chakra that is what is needs to be balanced out. So anybody can go online and look at the different
The
other
third eye, bro. It's our logo.
yeah, but I'm just saying like
The third eye. That rebirth of the word logo is the crown chakra.
that's one of them. Another one is digestive issues. I know you talked about your digestive health in the past in other episodes, and when we were talking about chakras, it will tell you that that's basically your solar plexus chakra that is affected. So
You're gonna have
you
to
know
change the color though from green to purple because that's the color of the chakra.
why? What do you mean?
Your logo. You have to change the color from
Oh, now
green to
that's for
purple.
rebirth. That's basically like being resurrected or a
I'm
rebirth.
just messing with you, brother.
I like green. Like green is actually one of my favorite colors, along with purple.
Mine's
Actually,
too, man. I love green. I grew up with that was my favorite color as well. Green. But I'm just saying that the crown chakra is actually purple. Maybe it's different for each.
I also wanted to talk about that. So a lot of people believe that there is one set of colors for these chakras, and that's not always the case either.
That's for
Uh,
crystal healing. You put
Even
an
with
amethyst.
even with crystals, there's crystals that are two different types of crystals that may have the same color, but you can only but uh, it's not the same thing. So what I did learn is that the
Like
colors.
there's a dictionary of crystals, bro. It's
I actually have
insane.
like I so right here in this book, which I love this book because it has, first of all, it has a section I'll show you first of all the yoga poses that you can practice.
Look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you can, and it has a lot of them, and then it also has um section for crystals.
True.
So I get to look at, and I know it's kind of blurry because I don't have my whole light on right now. I don't have my backlight on, but it gives you all the crystals that are, and there's multiple pages on here too, um, that you can look into, and it'll tell you it'll tell you exactly what is each one of them for. So like the sunstone gets its name from its warm color and reflected light, which reminds us of the sun. It energizes the sacral plexus chakra as well as the solar plexus chakra. Sunstone stimulates creativity and sexuality. Then you have the red jasper. It says a red jasper opens and stimulates the root chakra and powerfully grounds us to the earth. This stone's frequency can stimulate one's kundalini energy. Then in a note it says raising kundalini energy should be done gradually.
What is kundalini? It sounds like something sexual. What the hell
No,
is that?
look it up. It's
Is
so
that something that hangs underneath the body or kundalini? What the hell is it?
I just talked about that from the book. Let me
Still
see if
trying
I
to I'm trying to
look
understand
it
what
up real quick.
kundalini is.
I just read
Or
about
or
it.
am I or am I or am I thinking about something else, chat? Am I thinking about
I don't know where did I
thinking
do.
about something with your tongue? That's crazy. I'm so sorry for turning this
Uh,
this podcast into something nasty. Oh man. Some of these words are just hard for me to pronounce.
I'm trying to find out where I was just talking about it. I was just talking about it.
Let me it's Kundali as in Inca, N as in Nancy, I as in Inca. A dormant spiritual energy resting at the base of your spine. So back here, right?
Yeah,
Right in the back.
coil like a snake.
Yeah. And then when awakened,
What
it
the hell?
travels up the central channel, Sushumana, like sushi,
Oh, there we go.
through the body's 7 main chakras, all the way up, energy centers, leading to a higher states of consciousness and self realization. That's the definition. For you guys
Yeah,
that want to know.
so remember when I said that Kundalini energy is the primal enlightening force that awakens all of your chakras. Often
Yes.
around the same time, we all have this energy, but it's usually dormant, lying
Hmm.
quietly and coiled like a snake at the base of the spine or root chakra. You may have heard that working with chakras can awaken this Kundalini energy, and it's true. Starting to open one's chakra does give a possibility of that happening. However, it's unlikely that the Kundalini would awaken suddenly after reading a book or trying a few chakra healing techniques. The process typically occurs over a
So, wow.
period of time, and it usually happens with the people who have been actively and regularly cultivating it in their lives, perhaps by practicing Kundalini yoga or by regularly receiving or performing energy work. So, like, basically, like, so when when you hear people, and I know you've heard people talk about it, they say, man, I've been meditating for about 2 years and I can do this, that, and the third. It doesn't. I can't say that something happens just in 2 years or 5 years or 2 months and so on and so forth. But everybody that I've came across, they all seem to be able to do something within 6 months to a year. And I'm over here sitting here trying to do this stuff for like 10, 15, 20, 30 years, trying to master this stuff down. And I still don't have it down for perfection. But I hear people saying, "Hey, I can astro," because balance out your chakras and your kundalini. That also helps you go out and be able to do things like control your lucid dreaming, and also astral projecting and stuff like that. So it can help with these things. So a lot of people will uh, talk about that. What's up with this picture that you wanted right up here?
So this is the Kundalini is all the way down at the bottom, and then it rides all the way up the spine and all the way to the crown, and then what you have all the way in the top is pretty much um complete. Like that is what do they call enlightenment? So reaching God, pretty
Some
much.
people say the Godhead.
Yeah.
So the Kundalini and the chakras, they all line up. It's just basically it's like certain points on your body.
Mhm.
So it's basically certain points in your body that you activate. Um, like you can go to the hospital and have stomach pain, and they won't find anything wrong with you. Absolutely nothing will be wrong with you, but it'll be your chakra that might be off. The energy may be off there. I don't know what other people mean by the word energy, because, like I always say, you always have to go to the basics of what people are talking about. Some people can say energy as far as um, heat energy, right?
Yeah.
Heat can be a type of energy. So you gotta just be careful with what people use the word for. I can tell you for chakra healing and kundalini, I think they're one in one. I think it's just different things that you have to activate for it to be a completion, basically. I can say in the future, if they haven't already, they will be able to prove this in some sort. I was just reading this one book. I'm reading this book now, and
That is the seventh and last the crown chakra, by the way, the last one on the top. Just
yeah,
wanted
it's the
to
seventh one. Yeah,
Yeah, the seventh one. This is the O-M is pronounced
yeah.
symbol in the Vajgari script.
If you look in that, it's also OUM too that it can be spelled, I believe. But that's basically like the Godhead, the top,
Yeah,
the
absolute cosmic consciousness.
yeah. Um,
I'm going to bring this up. This is really not religious. Some people have made it religious, but in reality, this is not supposed to be a religion. It's supposed to be like a science. It's
a way
medical.
of life. It's
Yeah, it's a
supposed to.
way of life. Exactly.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what what rebirth of the word is saying is exactly true. And religious people like Christians, they make the mistake and say, "Ah, that's the
Well,
demon, that's the
Christianity is
devil."
supposed to be a way of life also, but a lot of people don't follow that way of life. Um, and I can say that because if you read the Bible uh, and go through just looking for the word meditation, it definitely tells you to go meditate. It tells you that that's part
Prayer.
of yeah.
Mhm.
Prayer is a meditation.
And music. Music is another form of meditation as well.
Yeah. That's what I
Song.
was saying, that a lot of people don't really, a lot of people hear these words and it doesn't go with the words from their belief, and they look at it as something negative. I can tell you chakra healing. What works for me on chakra healing? I tried some of the headache techniques. I
Mhm.
can tell you when my headaches are extreme, no, it's not going to help. If it's barely there, it helps me control it for a little longer before it gets really bad. Um, does it get rid of any of my ailments? Absolutely not.
No.
I don't think I have some of the problems that I think that some people have. Maybe I have other things that other people have as far as
You're
needing
built
some
different,
shock.
brother.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that I think just because I don't just because I don't experience what somebody else experienced doesn't make it that it's not real. Um, I know meditation helps because that definitely helps me calm down a lot, especially when I do get my headaches. It reminds me to at least bare minimum control my breathing. Even though that my headaches do get bad, I still try to control my breathing because like I said earlier, it relaxes me, and it's really hard to do, especially when you got a bad headache. But meditation helps me with a lot of things. Also, it helps me think about some of the projects that I want to do. Like a lot of the stuff that I do, it all comes from meditating on it. Like when I do a video, I meditate on it.
Yeah.
When I do my boots on ground, I look at the pictures and look at the videos before I go lay down, and then that's the only thing that I focus on until I possibly go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third with this video. It's the same when I was doing my when I was writing my book. It's the same thing when I do anything. I meditate on it before I act because if I try to first of all I try to prepare myself for going the wrong way. So it's just basically saying, okay, I'm gonna run through all these possibilities in my mind, and then I'm gonna let it play out in real world when I wake up and go do whatever it is I want to do. I have to. Some people call it procrastinating, because they said that I take my time with a lot of stuff, and I be like, and grow just growing up. I
But
see.
you need to take your time because your your subconscious is already working in the background, you know? We okay, so people with PTSD or suffer through disability, their subconscious is basically working in the background constantly trying to keep us going. Without our subconscious, we'd just be ragdolls. That's what I think. I don't know if you believe that or not, Rebirth of the Word, but I think we would be ragdolls without our subconsciousness.
Well, I think well that's something that was learning just a few days ago. I was watching a documentary and I was reading this book, and it was talking about how we are self-aware and animals aren't. And one of their explanations for that is how they put a mirror in the forest and an animal see it and they're jumping around, frightened by it or whatever. Human sees that, we know what it is, but I think that's also because we're already seen them when we were little kids too, right?
Yeah.
So we're already conditioned to understand what that is, what a mirror is. An animal that lives in the wood is not going to know what a mirror is, and if you have a human living in the woods, I don't care, they're going to know what a mirror is either if that's the only thing that they were living. So that was kind of a bad example that they were showing there that I got from them, from me basically. And I also say that but because we're self-aware, so I think about this stuff also, like I was before we started doing the show, I was thinking, okay, look, we know this because we live in a country where we're free, we're able to buy most books that we want and read about them, right? And we're able to go get a great education, we're able to practice some of our holistic ideas and pagan ideas if we want to, and so on and so forth, as long as we're not hurting anybody, right? And we're in the laws of whatever state we're in. But then you have people who I think about, like in North Korea. Like North Korea, they have no rights to do this stuff. So I was thinking about, do they have people who meditate and who are able to control their bodies and leave their bodies and astral project and do this, that, and the third? And
I would imagine that they would be the perfect candidates because they're so isolated from the rest of the world or even from amongst themselves and they have to stay at home most of the time that they would actually be the experts of astral projection just to get out of or finding freedom outside of their country or away from the oppressors, right?
yeah, well, that's what I was saying is that I was just, it's just amazing to me that we have this opportunity to do this right now. We're able to learn this stuff and practice this stuff and do this stuff, but there are people on this planet that do not have this opportunity. And what makes it even worse that they don't have this opportunity to do it, or even know about it at the bare minimum, is that this is supposed to heal people, right? And just like you said, there are some things on this planet that we shouldn't have to pay for. And for me, I believe food, water, and healing is at least the top three, right? Like you should, but in reality, when it comes to water, you got to build uh, plants and buildings and sewage and all this other stuff to get it to the all the people in the world or in the area, and that costs money, and that costs resources at bare minimum. So make a living. So people got to make a living. So when you said earlier that this was a $1 billion industry, I don't see it. Well, first I want to say this: anything that's done into a business, in my eyes, it starts losing its authenticity. And the only reason why is because and it's just for me, I'm not saying this in general or this person in general. Um, there are some people just like who she is, who's out here who wants to give out this information about chakra healing. But then there are other people who are greedy who will take this information and make it into a business to the point where they will add to it just so that way they can include more people, which would mean more money in their pocket when you're not sticking with the basics. What are you showing right here? 'Cause we're
Well,
about done now. So
well, I was about to. You were talking about there's a $1 billion industry, and there are people that work this type of industry. And this is Marcy Roban. I know her personally. We don't have her as a guest right now, but I have communicated with her, and she's been doing it for over 30 years. And the thing is that I got her LinkedIn, and I don't like showing people's LinkedIn on our because that's personal and private. You have to have a LinkedIn account to see it, but it says right here, I am a woman of many experience, interests, and talents and professions. Primary, I had 45 years career as a holistic healthcare practitioner and holistic counselor and teacher, specializing in metaphysical, bioenergetic healing, which interfaces the energy fields of spirit, mind, emotion, and body. I wrote Your Electric Self, which you can't really get right now because she hasn't republished it. She self-published as an explanation of how these energy fields interface. Among other professions and endeavors, she's also an actor, also employed 20 plus years in the entertainment industry, singing, acting, among other things. And she's been voiceover in Washington, D.C., Maryland, New York, Las Vegas, Miami, Spanish and English speaking. So she herself has been practicing this, and we know her. We might be able to have her get on, and if people are interested in this podcast and want to know more about chakra healing and light work, we could have her as a guest. So it's up to you guys as our guest. If you're more interested in knowing more about this in detail, we could bring an expert in. And Marcy Roban is an expert within this field. She's been doing it way longer than anybody else. We're just talking about it. We're just giving, our 2 cents about the author and what we believe is, what we believe in. But in reality, we're not the experts. The experts are is like someone like Marcy Roban that has way more many years, and she's already done the boots on the ground. She's already made all the mistakes in her life, and she has perfected it. So she can actually tell us more about this than we can. So if you guys want to see her or communicate with her and have her get onto the podcast, she would be more than happy to do it because
do
she
it. Just set it
loves
up. Don't
teaching.
even wait for
Yeah.
anybody else. Set that up. Yeah, I think that would be wonderful. Like I said, we're done with the book now. It was pretty short because it's not a thick book at all, and most
Oh
of
no. If you guys read this book and you want to up the ante and go for the more advanced workbooks, then you want to read Anodea Judith, PhD, and and she has a book called Wheels of Life. That's the advanced book of this book. It's called Wheels of
Yeah, that's the
Life.
beginning. Yeah, that's the beginning. This is actually called the beginner's guide.
Yeah. So if you want to, if you have read this book already that we're talking about, and you're ready for the to go more in depth, more details, you want to read the next one over. It's called Wheels of Life, and there are so many books. Actually, there's a lot of books out there. But once you start getting into it, and you're gonna find out that on Facebook or in some you could go into Facebook and they have meetings and stuff like that. You could look for chakra or light work. Look for light work because that's the terminology of these days. And you could join up in one of the workshops and learn from that as well. And if you really want to find a way to heal yourself, heal your mind, and go through the process of healing, you've been through what, a divorce, or you've been through something physical, or if you've been through an accident, or you're trying to go through addiction, or you're trying to get off addiction or something like that. All this stuff right here, there are people out there that are going through the same thing, and they decided to apply this to help them to grow and to change their lifestyle, especially eating. If you have addictions and stuff like that, this right here is actually falls into line as changing your life. It helps you to change your life. You'll be around other people that change their life, and that's the important thing. You want to be around other people that are doing it. That way you change as well. So thank you so much, guys, for watching us. Thank you, Rebirth of the Word. I'm Fat Jesus Live, and like always, knowledge is power.
Well, hey, before we end it though, I do want to say this, because look, check this out. This is the next
Oh,
book.
we got more.
No, the next book we're gonna do, is
What do we got, guys?
it's gonna be cannabis and
We have so much
spirituality and explorer's guide.
cannabis.
Yeah, so
Can we
we're
talk
just
about what they just legalized, or did they legalize in the federal government?
no,
What
they
is it?
didn't think is it. They
Didn't pass it.
they declassified,
No, no, no,
or
no.
not
The
declassified.
hallucinogens, right?
Oh, I don't know what they did with that, but I
Yeah,
know
we need
they
to
did a
talk about
reschedule.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
well, this
Rogan was there at the time when they were signing
I
the
got a book on that. I got a book on that too. But here, the next one is going to
mushrooms and
be
all that stuff.
cannabis and spirituality. It might talk about some of that stuff in that book, but that's the
Yeah,
next book we're going to do. That one's going to be short too. So, because that's not a big book either. It's only like, I think, like 120 something
Oh,
pages.
I got content. I got
Okay, so
content for y'all.
yeah,
If you guys want to learn about it,
well,
my son is in Oregon, and Oregon is that stuff is legal. So he's the one who feeds me all this information.
all
So
right. Well, that's it right there. So, hey, what you say earlier? You said knowledge was power, right?
knowledge is power.
Got a little hype now, can I let it die down? I remember days in the trench. Time to go hard in, time to go all in, time to get my all to this shit. Panamera maxed out, first class flights out Atlantic to Pacific, yeah, it's lit.
Like, that was good.